Yeah. I need to wake up, because it's the day of the ball. I know you would like to join us and present yourself at the ball, and frankly I don't see why you shouldn't be coming with us. But you know Mother, and you know it won't happen. I know. You shouldn't feel guilty. It'll be your chance. Make the best of it. Come on, we need to go. Now. Yes, I'm coming. Yep, so go off and do all the dance stuff. Yep. This would probably have a lot of us being able to skip. To whom it would be better to be indebted? Who's less likely to mess it up for me? Madame Keed. Which is who we picked last time, so that's probably going to be all the same. And since Camosa was so kind to leave the house and her study unattended, should I search her room? Just go. Forget it. I have enough leverage soon. Plus, I have a fairly good idea about where should Camosa stick her dirty little secrets. I should hurry then. I wouldn't want to keep Madame Keed waiting too long with her offer just hanging in the air. Just trying to make matters into my own hands. With the help of her able fingers. And go into town. Do-do. And then they are still trying to figure out dresses. Hello? You hear him, Kaheen? Yep. See. Nope, doesn't look like there's really much of a difference. That is a lot of conversation. What do I really want? I want to retake the residence still. Melissa may seem cool and collected, but she is truly desperate. The family finances are in ruin. That's why she's trying to play the only investment she has, her daughters. But if I could solve our problems with money, I would show her that I'm far better suited to be the head of the house than she is. Impressing, young Lady Camosa. Do you really believe that's possible? Impressing Lady Camosa. Do you really think that's possible? Recently I learned that the house is really all she cares about. All she ever does is aim for the good of the family and securing the fortune of her daughters, and that means becoming someone of significance in the eyes of others. So all I need to do is make the money problems disappear. That should be the first steps towards lifting the house into greatness one more time. Yes, it would seem that that's all you need to do. Although I don't really know how. If I did, I wouldn't be sitting in the filthy town to begin with. I'm sure I could use a little help from my friends. Maybe someone who's good with money in the first place. Someone like Tobias. You mean Tobias, the merchant down the street? Yes, him. I've known him since I was little. You could say we're good friends. It makes sense, though I still worry that impressing Camosa so strongly that she'll step down will not be so simple. Money is one thing, but there's also the matter of making the house respectable again. Reputation is an elusive thing, delicate and subtle like mist over the water. That's true. I need to talk about that with Tobias as well. He may not be a courtier, but he has many bright ideas about how the world operates. To be honest, I don't even know that many nobles myself. Maybe the ball could change it. It looks like we have a plan then. Which is much more than what you had when you came here. It's true, I think I know where I stand now, for the first time in a long time. Yeah. Gonna go try on the really pretty dress. I have no idea whether this plan's gonna work. I have nothing to lose, though. And a life to gain. I need to see this through to have any chance at it. I just hope Camosa doesn't manage to ruin it. Let's avoid the next random meeting with her, shall we? Let's stop addressing myself as plural. Or speaking to myself altogether. Speaking to myself is a bad sign, isn't it? You've been doing it the entire game. Speaking to Tobias would help with that. As well with a couple of other things. This is going to be a long talk. If anyone can find a solution to this money conundrum, it's him. He really has a good business head on those shoulders of his. Oh, I hope he came up with something. Cinders, it's good to see you again. I swear, whatever Lady Camosa is doing to keep you indoors, it clearly isn't working. You have no idea, but today is a bit different. Big changes are coming, Tobias. I need to speak to you about something very important. Yes, I can see that. Tell me, what's going on? I came to ask you for advice on business matters. Really? Now this is something I honestly did not expect. Although I won't deny that it's a subject I feel very comfortable with. What do you need? You know I'm not on the best terms with my stepmother and how easy it is for her to turn my life into hell on earth? Yes, I've noticed. Then I guess you already noticed that she has her mind fixed on two things she values in her life, family and status. Everything she's ever done and does aims at strengthening one or the other, or both. All else is expendable. Lady Camosa is an ambitious and driven woman, I must give her that. Not only that, she also respects and in the case of her daughters requires those qualities from others. I think I'm beginning to see where this is going, but please continue. I had no doubts about you being able to grasp my subtle plans. The point is, Camosa's troubled. The family has financial problems, and her daughters aren't the social predators she's designed them to be. She's getting desperate and clumsy. Above all, she could really use some help. And since she won't be receiving any from her daughter, she might as well accept it from the one who's always been a thorn in her side. Precisely, if I could solve our money problems, just imagine her astonishment. Her illusions about Gloria being able to successfully take her place someday would vanish immediately, or at least she should start considering alternatives. Making her recognize a much more suitable candidate for the job. Yes, the question is, how do you do it? How do you make a noble house successful? This is much more complicated than just solving money problems, Cinders. If you were a client and asked me for advice on the matter, I'd ask you to pay me extra. Let's talk about that when I'm a lady of a newly restored powerful house, shall we? Yes, let's. What I mean is, solving money problems is one thing. This can usually be done by selling things if you have something that can be sold. Then investing the money where profit can be made, and finally paying your debts, if there are any, and landing safely with a nice stable inflow. Sounds very romantic. But restoring a noble house to its former glory, this is a much more complex issue. From what I gather about noble families, their influence, prestige, and power lies almost entirely in perception of others. If a house is respected, considered prestigious, and words of its heads are deemed influential, it's only because our other houses agree that it should be so. The grand ball may be happening every few decades, but the masquerade goes on every single day. You may describe it like that. The point is that there are rules to this game of perception. Power and status may be illusion, but they are not arbitrary. So what are the rules? That's my concern. I'm not really an expert in such things. I'm just a common merchant, not a courtier. With your wit, I'm sure you can come up with something. Flattery. How very high-born are you? Maybe you're already on the right track to glory. From what a humble shopkeeper could tell you, building prestige is all about parties and social events. Also having the right kind of people visiting you on a regular basis so that they can be described as friends of the family. So I guess being friends with the prince might be considered an asset. Huh, no, the princes aren't very fashionable this season. I'm hearing dukes and viceroys are all the craze nowadays. Wait, you're serious? Of course I am. Think about the ball. If I manage to get inside and speak to the prince, I'm sure befriending him won't be difficult. But how will you get inside? Isn't that dangerous? Also, what makes you think he'll like you? I mean, not that you're not likable or anything, but what if he does? Relax, Tobias. Just think, this is my moment. It's probably my one chance in a lifetime to simply approach him and talk. I want to go to the ball anyways, so I might as well use it to advance my plan. But there will be guards. It's a royal event. It isn't some party you simply crash. Trust me, I will have aid. Why did that sound so ominous? Also, just looking at my options. It's the best chance I have to solve my money problems, impress Camosa, and finally change my life. I think you're getting too emotional about this. Try seeing it in terms of losses and gains. You're right, of course you're right. Still, this is risky, but surely an opportunity not to be missed. If you actually can befriend the prince himself, then you should be on the right track. It won't immediately solve your money problems, though. In time, maybe, if you play it right, you can gain honors and even some land of an actual monetary value. But to increase your chances of capitalizing the ball, you should follow up with some parties of your own. Invite the right people and make a lasting impression. And that's a problem. Organizing a posh party like that requires money I don't have. Yes, that's what I was getting to. To solve your money problem, you need money. Social connections are going to get you only so far. Especially in the beginning, you don't want to become a meaningless flavor of the month. Then I am in a rut. I need money to make money, but I don't have it. Which I don't have. I suppose this is not going to be easy, otherwise Kosa would do it herself. Yes, however, you have one important asset she doesn't have. Namely, being acquainted with a certain prosperous merchant who would be willing to lend you the necessary amount of gold. But only under the condition that you would be the lady of the house. You would do that for me. I would, Cinders. You're my friend after all, and I value that more than money. Your plans sound crazy, but if it works, it is your chance to finally set free. I would hate myself if I wouldn't at least try to help. I don't know what to say, Tobias. I simply don't. Besides, I know you well enough to think your plan may just work. In such cases, I would expect some healthy interest once you get rich and famous. We will talk details once you get back from the ball. Haha, Tobias, merchant to the very end. What can I say? The store doesn't raise itself to prosperity by itself, you know. Oh, of course I'm sure. I'd really like to be able to ask you for advice. You know that. And I'm always happy to provide it. Just be careful out there, alright? Don't worry, I feel that for the first time in my life I actually know exactly what I'm doing. So work. See you soon. Bye. Thank you again for the bottom of my heart. And off she goes. If this were a game of chess, she'd be the queen and I a pawn. Now, who'd you rather be your queen? Looks like most is still out. Good. Yeah. Time to go. Garden looks odd in this pale moonlight. Everything except for the ball. Yep. We already did all this. Oh, right. The ball's actually the next day. Then they're talking. Which I guess is nothing new. Here you go. Having your moment. You're monologuing. Oh, jeez. This is a lot of skipping over things. Do. Just everyone's opinion before the final ball. There we go. Now we're trying on the dress. Right. Jeez, that's like 6 scenes we just skipped over. I don't see it changing anytime soon. Not until Cinders shows up. Yep. At least for me, like, watching this, like, I recorded this 2 days ago, so I kind of... These scenes I would definitely remember. Wonder if hers is going to change at all. Doesn't look like it. Oh, of course, my lord. What would you like to chat about? Sigh, how do you like the music? How do you like the music? It is very... I'm sorry, your highness. Relaxing in such a setting is really not my strongest suit, I'm afraid, as well as casual and friendly conversation. I kind of noticed. Please tell me your strong suits are, then. I really couldn't tell you. I suppose that is a bad sign when I don't know what my best qualities are, isn't it? I think nobody knows themselves 100%. On the other hand, I suppose it's a bit unusual to not know a thing. I'm not sure. This is rather strange as well, isn't it? I think I would like to find out how I feel about many things. I'm not even sure what I want for myself, nor do I know how I feel about the goal I was dragged here to achieve. You might not expect this sentiment from a future monarch, but I must say I do understand how you feel. Would you excuse me then, your highness? You are very kind, but we both know that I'm not the one you are looking for. I'd like to go and find a couple of things out before anything else. Maybe we'll meet again in better circumstances one day. Yes, of course. And good luck. Hope that you succeed in finding yourself. Along. Do. See, I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like we did really anything different with Sophia, so I don't think anything's gonna be really different with this conversation. Nope, not really. Just both of them being like, I know I don't want to marry you. So, which is something. Let's go to the palace. Yep. Getting berated. Sorry, sisters. There we go. Having a long conversation with Cinders. I wonder when it's gonna be the exact same conversation? Oh, wow. I thought there'd be at least some difference. There's not really any. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Demons take me. Aren't you a clever little creature, my dear Cinders? Not only did you somehow manage to get here. Look at that dress. Yes, I can see it. Thank you, Gloria. You also had a little dance with the prince who clearly took an interest in you. You spoke with him like you were enjoying yourself. Which means you achieved more than either my daughters, and you did it without my help. I'm impressed. You always underestimate me, Closer. You fail to understand that if I put my heart into something, I can see that in many things. You speak with adolescent bravado. I actually don't remember how to say that word. And yet you did succeed. You did very well. I was clearly mistaken about you. Cinders, you're really amazing. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Thanks. There we go. And then we're out. Oh, right, she took off her shoes. And you want to go grab one of them? Later in the night. Yep. Be shocked if there's much difference between this conversation. Oh, Captain! Good evening. What brings you to our humble house in the middle of the night? Miss Cinders, did you attend the grand ball tonight? I did. Why do you ask? Shouldn't you check how she got there? Surely an certain like her had no proper claim to this fancy event. Ladies, please allow me to do my job. Did you dance with the prince tonight? I did. And did you wear a mask with a feather and slippers made of leather and glass? Yes. What is it about? Show him the slippers to prove you are the one. That won't be necessary, Miss Cinders. I was sent to find you by the prince. His Highness has found you the most interesting woman in the land's nobility. In the wake of the tradition of the Grand Ball, he would like to discuss the possibility of marriage. You consent to these proceedings, of course. Marriage? I mean, you did very well, Cinders, but is this appropriate? Oh, who cares about what's appropriate and what's not? If the prince decided coffee into someone else's soup was fine, we'd all do it. But that you impressed the prince so much. I didn't even know that you cared about such things, Cinders. This must be some sort of mistake. This girl's been sleeping in the dirty old kitchen for the last couple of years. The prince can't be interested in such a person. Surely you're thinking of one of my daughters. Oh, I'm sure that can be no mistake, Miss Cinder. I'm sure that can be no mistake. Miss Cinders? I'm genuinely surprised and flattered. But you can't expect me to just get up and leave my family. It may not show at first glance or when you listen to everyday pattern, but this place and people are too important for me to leave just like that. It's not often I have to deliver such disappointing news to the prince. His endeavors were to find a good wife and a proper queen. What should I tell him? Am I interested in the prince? Yes, apparently. Please, do not misunderstand me. I found the prince to be charming and intriguing, so I'm not dismissing any possibility. But how am I supposed to speak of any commitments without knowing his highness better? The prince was hoping to find a wife on the ball and get crowned to be a true king and ruler soon. And I'm aware of that. Yet apart from being a ruler, his highness is also a man, and he needs to show me he cares about me and my family's well-being. I need to get to know him. He needs to prove his intentions towards me and my closest. Till then, I will be overjoyed to welcome him in this house. We must all concur. The prince is welcome to visit as often as he likes. The house isn't in its former glory, but we're sure the prince's presence will help with that. Sophia, stop immediately with this nonsense. This is not the time for your friendly banter. Please, send the prince my best wishes, an invitation to both this house and its inhabitants' hearts. And please remember you are always a welcome guest here too. I do hope you will manage to pay us a visit, should the prince be held by important matters of the kingdom. I will deliver this message to the prince immediately. He will not be overjoyed, though what can you do? You have the right to refuse. But from what I gathered, you may expect to be honored with his visit soon. You made quite an impression on him. Have a good night, ladies. Thank you, Captain. Good night. Are you insane? To refuse the prince? I agree. She chose you over a life of comfort in the prince. She chose you over a life of comfort in the palace. She must have lost her marbles. Why? Why did you pass such a chance? Reviving this household can't mean that much to you. Wouldn't you do the same? I've heard of your choices in the past. And you loved us so much you just had to include us in your plans? Believe it or not, you're the only family I've left. Not a perfect one, that's for sure. She's abusive. But I understand sacrifice and tough choices for those closest to me, even if they don't. I'm sorry to have underestimated you. I thought we're gotten so used to fighting this war alone. But today you have proven not only to be resourceful and cunning, you also understand what this game called life is about. Let me surprise you even more then. Do you remember our talk about this house's money problems? Yes, I do. I think I solved them. Tobias the merchant offered to lend us a significant amount of money, which we are surely going to need if we're to take the royal gas. His conditions? Nothing ever comes for free. Of course, he wants to interest we manage to gain honors and wealth through it, and he wants to see me the lady of this house. Reasonable, and a clever going on your side, but not so fast, my dear. You still have a lot to learn. Take a close look, Gloria. Your spot of the favorite daughter has just become occupied. Shut it. Could we just be a family? I do hope this will open a new chapter in this household's life. It sure looks like you got your wish. Would you mind helping me with tomorrow's planning? More than glad to. Be shocked if any of this is the same. Or different. Nah, you don't really believe she can keep up that stout pose for long now, do you, love? You both know what happens when all her crutches leaves her. No, Camosa's to blame and no mysterious friend to look up to. The bird will get swept up in the wind. But you fulfilled the promise given to her mother, so your conscience is free. Be gone, Snake. I've had enough of your chatter. Yeah. Hey! Cinders finally manages to drastically change her life and retakes her residence from Lady Camosa. She starts a new era for herself and her family. After the events of the Grand Ball, Camosa recognizes Cinders as her best successor and steps down from being the head of the family. For a year, Cinders can count on her support and advice. Later, Camosa dies at an old age, happy to see her family finally prosper. Using fame she gained during the Grand Ball, Cinders turns her noble house into a meeting place for artists and scholars and an important spot on the cultural map of the kingdom. She uses her wealth and knowledge to support arts and inventions and will always be remembered as a great patron of cultural progress. As the time passes, Cinders manages to build mutual understanding with her stepsisters, and they become friends. Sophia and Gloria both help her running the house and are always there to support her or give their advice. While the relationship between the two sisters remains complicated, they are able to borrow their hostility in pursuit of common goals in normal life. The prince is a frequent visitor in the house of Cinders, and everyone in the kingdom knows they are lovers. Cinders refuses to become queen, though. Eventually, the prince is forced to marry a noble girl to secure his succession and ends his relationship with Cinders. She is heartbroken and lives the rest of her life alone. Okay. Oh, I'm kind of annoyed with these ones because it's like it puts so much emphasis on like ambition is good, but if you don't have ambition, but then it's like, but love is more important. If you're not in a relationship, then you're essentially living your worst life, right? It's like there's more than just love and romance, guys. Even if this is a dating sim. But regardless, I recorded for way longer than I intended to today, and my voice is definitely going if it has not been obvious for the last like 40 minutes. So, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!